people that like the less expensive multi-effect kind of a thing. I've looked at the the G1 on and the G1X on a while ago, December or something, and I kind of knew something was coming up at NAMM, and then looked at them at NAMM, the new ones, which is the the G4 on, what's this thing called? The G14, and then there's a G1X4. The X stands for expression. We're only going to look at this part of it. The expression pedal works, and you can assign some things to it, but we're not going to fiddle with that. Pretty cool. Now, I think the G14 is 89, 99 bucks, so slightly more expensive than the older versions. And I kind of was hoping that what Zoom had done is take the sound engine, I'm going to take the bings down here, take the sound engine from the G3 and the G5N and put it in the smaller one. And in some way that they have done that, but that also means in some way they've kind of messed up something beautiful. Because for me, and that was just me, you might use them differently, but for me, the G1 on and the G1X on were great as a beginner multi-effect. Throw it on the table, plug in headphones, sounds good. Plug it into your audio interface, record something with it, sounds good. There wasn't really a cab simulation to turn on and off. It just always was DI-ish and it worked. Could you use it in front of an amp or as a multi-effect in your effects loop? Yes, but I never saw it as that. Now, the G14 and the G1X4 are meant to be a multi-effect in front of your amp or in the effects loop of your amp, but also DI. And just like on the G3 and the G5, they messed up the whole DI part, because for that, you use an extra block in the effects chain, which is the cab. And that is always turned off on every single preset. And then you have to fish around and where is it? And not every single preset has a cab assigned, which means some work DI and some don't. So Leslie, show it so people know what we're talking about. It's very early, because if we shoot any later, we're gonna die of heat. That's also why the fan is blowing, and you're hearing that, and you're gonna have to deal with that. So, here are the presets, which you step back and forth with these two knobbies. Right now I'm on bank 1, as you can see, 1, 4, 1, 5, and so on. And you change banks if you wanted that. Either you just skip all the way through them, but you can also go directly to banks with these knobs. Everything on here has multiple functions, which can be quite confusing. So let's say we're gonna go to here, the 1, 1. Now these change banks. I hit edit, and now I'm on the next level of doing things. And here we can see 4 effects are on, 1 is off, clearly shown here. That's probably an amp, noise reduction, which most of the time you want on. There's a cab, and there's an echo. Now all of a sudden these things do different things. Now I can step through the effects right here. Okay, and with the left foot switch, you can see I can turn the effect on and off, so it becomes grayed out. So it's not back and forth, like on the big ones. It goes to the right, and then you turn the effects on and off. So what's the first effect in the chain? That's a boost. Let's keep that on. Next level is the actual effects. Now, you can't step through the effects with these anymore, which is kind of sad. Because now, the 2 foot switches will cycle the effect that's currently, it's a boost. It'll go through the Stompboxes, and you can change it. It's a lot to remember for a beginner that is not very much used to interfaces yet. Then again, kids nowadays, interfaces, iPhone, yeah, okay, I get it. If you now want to get to the other effects, you click these knobs. But you don't quite know what the other effects are, because that was right here. So if I want to go to the cab, it's number 4. So I go to number 4, there's my cab, and lo and behold, it is off. Which means this will now sound pretty damn crappy. Let's see. with this fusion roasted maple something HSH. Yeah, that's pretty damn bad, huh? But that's how it gets delivered. That's how you get it out of the box. So you go and turn this knobby. Each knob corresponds to a parameter, and turn it on, and now it should sound pretty damn great. The sounds, when they're good, are pretty damn good for the price, I gotta say that. Why isn't there a block, let's say 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3, they're all DI, and then 4 and 5, on the presets that get delivered with it, are for in front of the amp. No, they're mixing and matching them left and right, which is pretty damn annoying. So, if, let's see, I go to the next one, Dreambox. What do we have there? There is no cab. See? This is now one for either in front of the amp or it's probably clean. No, it's not. Now we have the problem. There is no speaker in there. Can you see that? So I literally can only use this preset in front of an amp if I wanted to use exactly that preset. Okay, sounds horrible. So we look and can't see. Thank you, Leslie. So what's the thing in the middle? Not a cab. Again, can't use it DI, because if I now want to add a cab, let's try that. So we're going to get rid of the flange. Here. I'll skip through these. See, on the left, it goes... No, it goes up and those are cabs. Okay. UK 212. Okay. There we go. And it's, of course, off. Okay, can I move the order around, you ask? I think so. Chain. That's the first one, so I think I click this. Yes. Okay. And now, maybe these? Nope. I don't know. Hello? Anyone? Okay, the third one? Yes. And now what? Ah, and now I want it here. There we go. Done. Okay. Everything gets done differently. Sometimes the foot switches move things, sometimes they don't. Okay? Let's get into a couple of the extra things and then some sounds. Yeah, there is a tuner, you push both of them, and it works. You can bypass the tuner, I don't know how. Nope. I mean, so if I don't want to hear anything... People always say tune your guitar, as if I don't do that. Of course I do that. Good enough for me. Not good enough for many people. So that's there. Then we got rhythm, which is pretty cool. And you start that by saying play. Works pretty well. Now the cool thing is there's a looper right here, and you can actually record the drums into the looper. So if I go drums and I'll play them. Stupidly, I will have to go back to the drums and stop those as well. It should kind of know that, hey, wait, I was in looper mode, I record the drums and good, and stop the drums. Something you would think about Zoom. Cool. But you could see, I could very, very quickly generate a little jam track. It even sounded cool. That sound I got dialed in here right now, I'm actually pretty damn excited about because it's a really cool lead. So we're gonna go to some more presets here. Oh damn, wait. Is there a cab? Yes there is, and it's not on. Very hard noise gate. I don't know why people gent. There you go. If you're not in the individual pedal mode, then the knobs become different things. They become low, mid, and high, and your main volume. All stuff to remember. Very, very hard noise gate there. On this one, everything's off. I don't know what I did there. That could sound good if the cap was on, which is here. What I really liked on the old one, there were a lot of really cool effect sounds, like huge, delay, flangey things, and I'm kind of missing those here, at least in terms of presets. Like, you know, crazy shit that you want when you're a young kid fiddling around with effects for the first time. Shit like this, where you go like, whoa, that's cool! And that's actually pretty damn tracky. That's good. Not tracky, not like... but tracky. It tracks well. Thing is, you could say, well, why don't you just turn all the all the cabs on the presets that you want and you're good? Because of the general ignorance and stupidity of people in general and beginners. Had I had the G14 by Zoom when I was a kid, I might not have known about cab simulation and that it has to be on. Like, that is not something you can assume. And for a long time, you would play with shitty sounds. I've mixed albums, and I'm not shitting you. I've mixed albums from someone who recorded with the cab sim off on his multi-effect, and he did a whole guitar instrumental album and paid me to mix it. And I had to make that sound good somehow. That was actually before we had virtual cabs in the computer. Yeah, here we get to cool stuff. That's kind of cool. It's cool when you're a beginner and you don't have an acoustic guitar. Okay, let's go straight to the next section, which is doing what it's also supposed to do, which is be in front of an amp. So right now I'm in front of the Tone King. The guitar and the pedal, they're matching in price point and the kind of user that would buy it. However, the amp doesn't. Just a clean amp, but it's an expensive one. Mic with a Root MTP 440. If you're buying a Zoom, you have no idea what that means. Also going into the aux with a cream back-loaded 312. Oh, that doesn't mean anything to you because you're the kind of customer that's buying the Zoom, which means actually you might be someone who wants to practice and have that just in your gig bag. It's pretty damn flat. Look at it. Pretty damn flat. That section. And you can run it with the standard 9-volt power supply, which is not included, but its batteries are included, and it does the 4 battery thing with the septuple A. Double A? I think those are double A. I don't know A's. So yeah, you can run this on battery, and it's a pretty cool box for just practicing, especially with the looper. So now into the amp. Well, digital drives aren't great, but it's usable. I mean, in some situations. That's not a chord that should be played. So, generally, the sounds are great. Of course, there are, if I go here, you can see analog delay. I don't know, those are probably, those are weird ones. There are a lot of virtual pedals in there. One thing that's annoying is if you're exceeding the processing power, it will tell you can't load another pedal, and that will stay there for a second or two, which is a probable change effect, process overflow. And see, it's on all of those. Can't load it. So there's limited processing power in there. However, thank you, Leslie. Let's not go there. Here we go. Let's stay on the muff, he said to the kids. For the price, if you want to fight a little bit with the user interface and get used to it, I've played with this quite a bit, and I'm still confused of where I am and how and now I go here and I step through the boxes and turn them on and off. Okay, but then I can't, can I edit them? I can also turn them on and off this way, but then if I want to edit, I have to be here. But if I step now, I'm stepping through the effects, but I don't think it's that bad. Fact is, the sounds are great. I just wish they grouped their presets with a built-in speaker block into certain banks and turned them on from the get-go. Okay? And when the thing gets delivered, just have a yellow sticker right here. Just have a little yellow sticker that says, direct banks speaker already on. And then you can take that off, and then you know. And if you don't want the speaker on, turn it off. The sounds, DI and in-amp, are, I would say, better than the price tag might suggest. Cleans are most certainly amazing when going into an amp. The drives, I think, in front of the amps don't sound as good as DI. But DI, this is usable. Yeah, you've got your helixes and your all the expensive stuff, and that's all great, and loading IRs and all that shit. For the price, this is very usable. And have I mentioned that it's cheap? So check out the G1.4 Zoom thing and the G1X for Zoom. I have to point out that I'm not getting paid for this video. I think I get to keep these things. Yay. Because look behind me, I really need them. It's not the product for me. But I want to make these videos for them because there are many people that are in need of an inexpensive guitar box that will do many, many things and that will do them effectively and in a good quality. And I was always impressed by the G1 on and the G1X on something, and now the G1.4 and the G1X4, please come up with better names, Zoom, are the successors which go in a slightly different direction, but they're still good if you want to fiddle with the interface. So I just like them, and that's why I asked Zoom to send them. So thanks for watching. We'll put links below. Thanks, Leslie, for switching. And Tiere am Ende, as always.